Hi guys, very good morning. My name is Miss Yash and welcome to today's session on Security Plus and PenTest Plus Zero to Hero program. A little introduction about me. I'm currently working as a senior security consultant and instructor, taught more than 1000 students in different various certifications around cybersecurity. My achievements in your certification fields include few certifications from CompTIA like A plus, Network plus, Security plus, Cloud plus, CISA plus, Pentest plus. From EC Council, I have few certs. I'm a CEI from EC Council. I have CEH version 12, CHFI, and CSA, and few certifications around your Azure. So today we will talk about the new training batch that we are going to launch from next weekend. That is your Pentest Plus with your Security Plus. So it's basically like a combination of both the courses. So our target audience is basically the beginners who are trying to learn about penetration testing or who want to work around this particular field. Now the question comes that why we are including Security Plus, because Penning Test Plus, if we talk as certification wise, it's a intermediate level certificate, right? So this particular certificate requires that you have a working experience around your security domain. So that is why, just to gain the foundational knowledge, we have also added Security Plus, so that if someone who wants to learn penetration testing or who wants to work around this particular certificate, they can get the foundational level knowledge around your cybersecurity through your Security Plus. So if we talk about the agenda, that what all things we'll be discussing today, we will talk about what is information security, then your penetration testing or your pen test. What are the 5 stages around your penetration test? Course objective, both Security Plus and pen test plus. Who all can take this particular training? What will be the benefits of this particular course? And at last, we will have a small Q&A. First important thing is your information security. Now, information security, which is also called as your InfoSec, refers to the process and tools designed and deployed to protect sensitive business information from modification, disruption, destruction, and inspection. Okay. So, in simple terms, if we want to say how we can define your information security, so we can say information security means protecting your information and the resources, okay, from which we are getting your information, from unauthorized access. This is your first thing. Second, your attacks. Third, we can say your damage. And fourth is your theft. Okay, so information security basically meaning protecting your info and its resources from unauthorized access, attacks, damage, and theft. Very common example of unauthorized access is your hacking. If I hack into a particular system, it means I'm getting into that particular system without the permissions. I don't have access to that, but still I'm getting into that. So that is your unauthorized access. Attacks, any kind of attacks that we have or that we use to get information from a particular system. It can be a malware attack. It can be a DOS attack. It can be your network attacks. Your If we talk about your Wi-Fi, so your Wi-Fi attacks, IoT attacks, cloud attacks, depending on the system. Then your damage. Now damage can be man-made or natural also. For example, in case of any natural disaster, we lost some information from our data center, or the resources that are present over our data center got damaged. So that can be also part of that. And theft, last is your stealing. If someone tries to steal your information. Then we talk about the basic tenets of information security, the major factors on which we rely our information security on is your CIA. Okay, these things are also called as your CIA traits. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Again, three very important terms around your information security part. Your confidentiality means that we are making sure that only authorized person are given access or permission to modify your data. Okay. For example, if you are joining this particular meet through your WebEx, it means you have previously registered through your email address. Okay. If you take a training, so you will be allowed to get access to the recordings, you will be allowed to get access to the training classes. If I don't purchase the training, right, if I don't participate in the training, I won't be allowed, I won't be having any access to attend the content of that particular training. Second, we have integrity. Integrity will help us maintain the trustworthiness of your data by having it in the correct state and immune to any improper modification. Last is your availability. Availability basically means your information should be always available to the authorized user. So in security terms, if we talk about the examples, confidentiality can be remembered with your encryption, and integrity we can remember by your hashing. Now next thing is penetration test. What is a pen test? Penetration test, also known as your pen test, is a simulated cyber attack against your computer system to check the exploitable vulnerabilities. So basically, what we are trying to do, we are trying to act as an attacker and trying to find the weakness around a particular system in a ethical way. Okay, in a ethical way. This thing becomes very, very important. This is the only term which separates us from a normal attacker. So here what we will do, we will use the same tools, techniques and processes that your attacker uses to find the weakness around a particular system. Now when I say system, system can be anything. It can be a server, it can be a normal administrative system, it can be a network also. So we will use different tools and techniques that are out there, which is frequently used by your attackers to find the weaknesses which can impact the business of a particular organization. If we talk about the approaches, that what are the approaches in which we can do your penetration test, there are three approaches. First, black box testing, white box, and third, your gray box testing. When I say a black box, it basically means we have zero knowledge about our target. Okay, I'm doing a attack, I'm doing a pen test on a particular environment where I have zero knowledge. about my target environment. White box means I have all the knowledge about my target environment. And gray box means I have partial knowledge. Partial means some knowledge I have around that particular environment. Why penetration testing is important? What are the advantages? What are the benefits which we can get around our organization through this particular process? First important thing, as the definition suggests, we are finding the weaknesses in our system. So your penetration test will help us find the weakness around our system. If we find the weakness, what we can do? We can mitigate that particular weakness. So we can add robust controls, your security controls around our systems, around our organization to solve that particular weakness. Penetration testing will also provide a qualitative and quantitative examples of your current security posture and your budget priorities for your management purpose. It can also support your compliance with respect to your data privacy and security regulations. And it will also tell you that what is the current status of your security controls that you have around our organization, whether it is good, whether it is bad, whether that thing requires some improvement or not. These kind of things we can get from this particular test. Now, when we say penetration test, it is divided into 5 phases. Your penetration test is divided into your 5 stages. Planning, discovery, attack, reporting. In your attack, we can also add one more. Okay, here in your attacks, we can say first initial exploit, then maintaining your access. We can divide your attack phase into 2 parts. First, initiating the attack. Once we have initiated the attack, we got into the system, then how we will maintain the access. And last part is your reporting. Planning basically involves we will define what will be the scope and goal of our test is. What all systems we need to address in our test, what all tools will be used, what all methods we will be using around our test, around our attack. So first we have to plan our test. Okay, we have to create a list of tools, list of techniques that we will be using. We have to get approval of the organization with respect to the techniques and tools we'll be using on the target systems. So these kind of things will be part of your planning. So planning, we can also add your scoping. Then second thing we have is your discovery. In discovery, we can add your reconnaissance, which is also called as your information gathering. So here we will try to gather as much information about our target as possible from your public and private sources to create a attack strategy. Then we can also add your vulnerability scanning. This particular thing means trying to find vulnerabilities around our target system with respect to different tools and methods. So once we have gathered the information, once we have found what all weaknesses are there account over the particular source, then what we can do, we can strategize a attack based on the information that we got from phase number 2. We can strategize what all attacks we can use, okay, according to the motive. So first we need to gain the access to that system. So that will be your initial exploit. Once I got access by doing attacks such as, let's say, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, these kind of things. Next important thing becomes maintaining your access. Okay, because I need to make sure I am most of the time connected to my target system, so that if I want to exfiltrate some data, if I want to modify some data, or if I want to abuse the data that is present over there, I can do that thing. So maintaining access also becomes very important. So once I have achieved my goal, then will be your reporting part. Okay. So your communication and report. Because at the end, we have to show our findings. We have to show what all things we did on the target system. So whatever I did in your stage number 2 and stage number 3, I will show that in a particular report. And with that, I will add some mitigations, that how these things can be removed from the present system. Okay. The weaknesses that I discovered, how we can remove that particular thing from the current system. Okay. So these are the 5 stages in which we do your penetration test. Now, next thing is your course module analysis. The course will be focusing more on penetration test as compared to your security plus. Security plus we are only adding so that we can create a strong foundation around cybersecurity. We can get overall knowledge that what all things are there. Our major focus will always be on this particular pen test part only. So if we talk about the total duration that we have, so duration will be around 85 hours for the complete course. This thing we will divide 30 hours for security plus, okay, 25 to 30 hours for security plus, and then 55 hours for your pen test plus, because we want to learn everything practically. We want to learn everything practically. Then only we can showcase those particular skill in real world. So that is why we are giving more priority to your pentest plus, so that we can learn all kind of attacks practically. Now if we talk about the modules that we have, so security plus exam number SY0601, right, this is the name of this particular exam. About the exam, it will help us assess the security posture of an enterprise environment and recommend and implement appropriate security solutions. Again, this thing becomes very important, because when I say pen test, at the end, we have to give proper mitigations. So if we don't know what all mitigations, what all recommendations we can give with respect to security solutions around a particular weakness, this thing becomes of no use. So again, a very important reason to learn security plus before going to your pen test part. Monitor and secure hybrid environments, including your cloud, mobile, IoT. Operate with awareness of applicable laws and policies, including your GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Then your incident response. So talking about this particular exam, number of questions that we will get maximum 90. Duration 90 minutes. These are the recommended experience that you should have, but not necessary. Out of 900, you have to score 750. It means at least 83.33% you have to score to pass this particular exam. Types of questions, MCQs and performance based. Performance based means simulations. So 2-3 questions will be your performance based, rest you will get all your MCQs. 5 domains are there in this particular course. First, attacks, threats and vulnerabilities, where we will talk about different attacks and vulnerabilities around those particular attacks. Second is architecture and design. Third is implementation. Fourth is operations and incident response. And last is your GRC. So here we can see in domain 1, we have different subdomains which are talking about different attacks. So we have your social engineering attack. We have your malware attacks, your physical attacks, your password attacks. Then you will have your application attacks, network attacks, web application attacks. You will see these things are also part of your pen test. Pen test stage 3, where we are talking about your attacks. So instead of learning these things theoretically, what we will do, we will focus to learn these attacks practically by creating a virtual environment. On that virtual environment, we will install different machines and we will learn different tools and techniques to perform these kind of attacks. Second is architecture and design. This thing will talk that how you can provide your security concepts around your enterprise environment, how you can improve your design, how you can improve your architecture around a particular enterprise environment. Then third is your implementation. What all different security solutions you will implement around your organization. So secure protocols, secure application security solutions, secure network designs, right? These things we will be talking about this particular domain 3. Fourth part is your operations and incident response. Here we will talk about your digital forensics, incident response, what are the stages of incident response, these kind of things we'll be talking over here. And last is your GRC. Here we will talk about your governance, risk, and compliance. So we will talk about what are different security controls that we have around our organization. What all key frameworks we can use based on the business requirement. What all policies we can implement around our organizational security. Okay, so here we will also add your risk management and different concepts related to your risk. So by looking at all the 5 domains, we can see we can get a very good knowledge around the overall security. Okay, how this thing will help? This thing will help us mitigate the vulnerabilities that we are finding around a particular organization. So the next part comes your PenTest Plus. The stages which we have talked are divided into your domains around this particular course. So plan and scope a pen test, understand legal and compliance requirement, perform your VAPT, using appropriate tools, techniques, produce a written report. So your report part. These all things we'll be talking. Exam code PT00002. Maximum number of questions that we will be getting is around 85. Types of questions again will be MCQs and performance based. So again, this exam becomes your theoretical. Duration 165 minutes. Recommended experience 3 to 4 years of hand-off experience in penetration test, vulnerability assessment, and code analysis. Passing score 750, again 83% to pass this particular exam. If we look at the domains, we can see first, planning and scoping. Second, information gathering and vulnerability scanning. So phase 1, phase 2, attacks and exploit, phase 3, reporting and communication, phase 4. So you can see what we did, we divided the phases into your domains so that we can learn in more detail that what all things we will be doing into this particular phase. Last is your tools and code analysis. Here we will talk about different scripts. Okay, your JavaScript, Python, Bash, Perl, these kind of scripts we'll be talking about. So if we talk about phase number 1, objectives we have already discussed. Now prerequisite, the only prerequisite is you should have knowledge around your networking part. Okay, this is the only prerequisite we have with respect to this particular training. Because if I talk about the prerequisite of this particular PenTest Plus, it will say you should have basic knowledge around your penetration test, vulnerability assessment, code analysis. You should be able to recognize your information security vulnerabilities and threats in context to your risk management. So they are saying that you should have basic knowledge around your security part. So this thing we are getting from your security plus. Okay, so this thing we are already covering as a prerequisite. So only prerequisite that we have to take this particular training is you should have knowledge around your networking part, knowledge of your TCP/IP protocols, knowledge around your routing and switching. So basic your network environment, knowledge around your devices that you have around your networking. These things you should have. This is the only prerequisite that we have for this particular course. Now, if we talk about table of content, that what all things we'll be learning at each and every phase. In phase number 1, planning and scoping, first we will talk about your GRC. So you will have basic idea from your security plus, but here we will talk knowledge of GRC with respect to your attack. Then we will talk about what all things you will be doing with respect to planning, what all things you will be doing with respect to your scoping. Okay, so we will understand the importance of both planning and scopings and what all things we need to do into this particular part. Second phase is information gathering and vulnerability scanning. Basically your reconnaissance where we are trying to get information about our target. It is of two types, passive and active. Passive means I'm not making a direct contact with my target, but still trying to get information about my target. For example, let's say I want to get information about any of you guys. So what I will do, I will have two things. I will have two methods. First thing is I will call you right? And I will try to get information from you. Second, I will try to visit your social media handle, and then from that, I will try to get information. So if I'm making a direct contact with you, that is your active reconnaissance. If I'm not making a direct contact, but I'm visiting your social media profiles to get information about you, that where do you live, what all places you have visited. So that is your passive reconnaissance. So here also we will have different methods. So around your passive, we will be performing these all methods to get information about our target. And then we have your active. So we will be performing these all methods to get information through your active reconnaissance. Next important thing is your vulnerability testing. So we will be using different tools like your Nessus, Colsys to see how we can get vulnerabilities around a particular target. We will learn to use those particular tools around a particular target so that in real time, if I'm using those particular tools, it will be easy for me to get information using those particular tools. Nmap becomes again one of the important tools to do your initial reconnaissance around a particular target. So here you can see Nmap scans, fingerprinting. These are again some of the reconnaissance exercises that we will perform around a target. Now, you will be seeing that I'm saying that we will do these things, we will do these things. How we will do that? We will get ourselves a VMware workstation machine. Okay, so we will try to create a virtual environment. In this particular environment, we will have one your Kali machine, your Kali Linux, through which we will be learning all the tools and techniques. And then we will have our attacking machines. Okay, so let's say this is one Linux machine, this is one Windows machine, and let's say this is one mobile machine. So when I say information gathering, what I will be doing with the help of Kali, I will be performing different tools. Let's say Nessus for vulnerability assessment and map to get information about my target. So I will be using these tools from my Kali to these machines to get information about these things. Okay, so this is how we'll be doing practically. Similarly, if I want to do any attack from my Kali, I will perform attacks on these particular machines. This was part of your phase number 2, information gathering and vulnerability assessment. Third phase is your attacks and exploits. Now, again, there are different types of pen test. You have your network pen test, cloud pen test, Wi-Fi pen test, your wireless pen test, IoTs, spatial systems, your ICS and SCADA pen test. So here also, what we did based on different pen test, we have divided them into subdomains, and here we will learn about those things only. So if we talk about your network pen test, here we will see that what all attack vectors, what all network attacks we can perform around a particular target. So tools, basic tools that we will be learning here will be your Metasploit, Netcat, and Map. More tools are there, but these are the tools which are part of your official course, okay, which we need to learn. What type of attacks we will be learning? ARP poisoning, dictionary, password cracking basically, brute force dictionary, man in the middle, LNMNR, NetBIOS, poisoning, NTLM relay attacks. These things we'll be learning around your network part. Then becomes your wireless pen testing. So here we will learn about different attack vectors that are associated with respect to a wireless attacks. So your able twin, blue snuffing, RFID cloning, these kind of attacks we will have. The tool which we will see is your aircrack NG suite. Then we have applications and web-based application attacks. So here our focus will be to learn about your OWASP top 10, because again, this is the important framework that we have around the top 10 attacks we have around your web applications or application parts. So here you will see OWASP top 10, SSRF, injection attacks, your SQL, cross-site scripting, these kind of things, API attacks, directory traversal, tools we will use, official ones which are present in your course, OWASP, JAP, Bobsuit, SQL map. But other than that, there are more tools and frameworks which we are going to learn. Then we will learn about your cloud attacks, IoTs, SCADA and ICS, social engineering attacks, physical attacks, then maintaining the access, post exploitation techniques. This is your domain 3.7. So here what all things we can do once we have access to a machine: lateral movement, privilege escalations, network segmentation testing, upgrading a particular restrictive shell, detection avoidance. These things we will learn. Okay, so first thing we will learn how we will get into the machine. Once we are into the machine, what all things we'll be doing into that particular machine. So this is all part of your domain 3, attacks and exploits. Next is your reporting and communication. First, we will see why communication is very important during your penetration test. Okay, what are the areas or who all we will be communicating with during a particular test. And last is your reporting part. In your report, what all things should be there, how you will create a particular report. These things will be part of this particular domain, reporting and communication. And last domain that we have is tools and code analysis. Whatever tools we have learned till now, okay, throughout the domain 1 till domain 4, whatever tools and frameworks we have learned till now, first thing we will do is do a sum up of that for a particular technique, what tools we can use. Then we will talk about code analysis. Okay, because learning to read a particular scripts become very important around a penetration test. So first we will talk about the basic concepts of scripting in software development. Then we will talk about your different scripts. We have your bash, we will have your PowerShell, your Python, JavaScript, your Perl. These kind of scripts we will be learning. We will be learning about their syntaxes, so that if I give you a, let's say, Python script, at least we can read those particular things. Because in the exam, if I talk with respect to your exam, you might get some question where they will give you a image of a particular script. Now what you have to do, you have to choose the option that what output you might get from that particular script, or what they are trying to talk through that particular script. Okay, so that is why domain 5 again becomes very important, which will teach us how we can read a particular script based on a particular scripting language. So learning the syntax becomes important of different scripting languages. So these are the 5 domains that we have around your PenTest Plus. 80% part of this particular course will be practical and 20% theoretical. So this 20% will include your domain 1 and domain 4, planning and scoping, and report and communication. Practical part will be your domain 2, recon, reconnaissance, attacks, and exploits. Okay, so we will focus more on practical stuff so that we can learn how to use different tools and technologies around a particular area. So this is the content of this particular course. Now, if we talk about the benefits, at the end, if you are taking the training for the certification part, this thing will help you pass your Security Plus exam and your PenTest Plus exam also. Second, with respect to Security Plus course, you will learn about different security roles and security controls. You will learn about threat actors and threat intelligence. You will learn how to perform your security assessment and how to identify social engineering and malware attacks. You will get idea around your cryptographic concepts, encryption, encoding, these kind of things. You will learn about your IAM, identity and account management. You will learn about your data privacy and protection concepts, your DLP and all those kind of things. And at last, incident response and digital forensics. Here we can also add your GRC, governance, risk and compliance. Benefits of Pentest Plus course. Again, this thing will help you pass the CompTIA Pentest Plus exam. Other than this, you will learn to understand each and every phase that is associated around your penetration test. So
Hi,
understanding
Yash.
the
I'm Gaurav. So actually, there are few people is asking a question that what is the difference between pen test and CH? So people have to attempt both the certification or one is fine. So can you just elaborate that what is the major difference between these two?
okay, just a sec. After this, I will explain that thing.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So benefits of your Pentest Plus course. First, we will try to understand what is the methodology behind your pentest. Then learning each and every phase, planning and scoping, conducting information gathering and enumeration, exploiting network and systems, and last is your reporting and communication part. Now the question comes, difference between your CEH, certified ethical hacking, and your pentest plus. CEH is a beginner level certificate and pentest plus is your intermediate level certificates. When I say CEH, CEH talks about overall hacking area. Okay, CEH will talk about how attackers attack a particular area. When I say pen test, here our focus is more with respect to pen testing. Okay, so here we will talk that how to conduct a penetration test. Around your pentest plus part, we will see how to conduct your pentest plus part. But when I say CEH, in CEH, we are basically talking about your hacking part. So here you will have beginner level knowledge. In Pentest Plus, you will have more advanced knowledge. This is the basic difference between your CEH and Pentest Plus. So if you are already a working professional, okay, and you want to work around penetration field, and for that pentest plus certificate becomes very very important. Why? Because this thing will teach you more stuff as compared to your CEH. In CEH you will get basic knowledge around a particular tools and techniques for a particular domain. But in your pentest plus part, we will see that how things are performed around a particular organization when we are saying pen testing. Okay, so this is the major difference between your CEH and your pentest plus part. Who all can take the particular training for your CompTIA pentest plus? Someone who is absolute beginners who want to work around this particular domain, someone who is already working as an IT professional, information security professional, cloud computing specialist who want to move into cloud security part, penetration tester who want to improve their skills, vulnerability testers again who want to improve their skills, cybersecurity professionals, IT security auditors, someone who wants to pass this particular certificate so they can take this particular training. Job opportunities, what all roles you can apply? You can apply for penetration tester, security analyst, security consultant, vulnerability analyst, web application penetration tester, cloud security analyst. Okay, so these are few areas where you can apply, and these are the median wages based on these particular sources. Okay, so this is all with respect to this particular course module analysis of the courses and what all things you will be seeing in the particular training. If you guys have any questions, you guys can ask. Any questions you have?
Yeah. Thanks, Yash. So, thanks for the session.
Okay, thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care.